Good afternoon. My name is Graham Emanuel, and I am the Troop 185 Senior Patrol Leader. I hereby declare this Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Reid Westergren to be in session. Bringing in the American flag and the Troop 177 flag are scouts from Troop 177 to represent where Reid started his scouting journey. At the end of the ceremony, Troop 185 will retire the colors to represent the end of Reid's scouting journey. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the opening flag ceremony? Color guard, to your post. Scout salute. Color guard, post the colors. Would you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard dismissed. Scouts, please remain standing for the Scout oath and law. Audience members, please be seated. Scouts on. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law. How it is. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. To guide us through today's ceremony, our Master of Ceremonies is William Rich.
Here we are. All right. Thank you, Graham. Scouts, Scouters, and friends of Scouting, I would like to welcome you to this Eagle Court of Honor. This is an occasion for pride and joy, as well as a time for serious reflection. This Eagle Scout rank is the highest recognition that Scouting offers to Scouts. It is earned through the advancement program, and only about 6% of Scouts in Scouting receive this honor. The wearer of the Eagle Award is the epitome of Scouting's best efforts and beliefs. This afternoon, we have the pleasure of seeing Reid Westergren attain the final step in his Scouting efforts. Before we begin, can Reverend Marlena please deliver the invocation?
Just a quick word before the prayer to say that we are so proud of Reid here at this church, proud of how he lives out the values of his faith community. So would you join me in a spirit of prayer? Let us pray. O God, whose truest name is love, we come before you today, maybe from differing traditions, maybe from differing viewpoints about faith, yet we come just as we are, with no pretenses. And we come, most importantly, with a united purpose to honor Reid Westergren, who is important to us and to you, O God. We ask your special blessing on Reid today as we celebrate the culmination of his long journey to achieve the highest rank in Scouting. O God, continue to fill him with your spirit of love and courage, that he may continue to use his powers to build up community, to stand up for what is right, and to serve his fellow human beings, following the teachings of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Marlena. Now I'd like to introduce the Scoutmaster for Troop 185. With the opening remarks, Mr. Emanuel.
Thank you, Will. Honored guests, Hampton American Legion Post 35, Stratham Volunteer Fire Department, Reverend Marlena Schmidt, family, friends, and Scouters, we thank you for coming together today to celebrate Reid's rise to the Eagle Scout rank. The pathway to Eagle can be described in many ways. For example, a steep trail leading to the peak of the Eagle rank. Along the trail, there are 6 steps. The ranks of Scouting that Reid had to pass along on his way. They included Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, and Life. As we go through today's ceremony, I'd like you, Reid, to think about how each of these ranks have helped you to become a better Scout, leader, and person in life. And as for the audience today, I'd like to invite you to take the time to reflect on Reid, not just his journey, but your journey with him as a supporter, for without you, we would not be here today. Thank you all. Welcome to Reid's Eagle Court of Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Emanuel. Now I'd like to ask the honor guard to escort Reid to the altar. As of today, only about 6% of all Scouts earn the rank of Eagle Scout. This prestigious rank is the highest achievement in Scouting America and requires earning at least 21 merit badges, demonstrating leadership skills, and completing a significant service project. Reid's project was building a new spectator area at the Winnacunnet High School tennis courts. Despite the millions of youth who join Scouts, reaching the rank of Eagle is a rare and highly respected accomplishment. Now, Reid, do you remember that moment when you became a Scout, when you crossed that bridge into the Scouting world? I want you to go back to that moment and remember what you felt when crossing over that bridge. Now come back and realize where you are today, at your Eagle Court, with the people who have supported you along the way. You have had a journey unlike many other Scouts, so let's take the time now to go through your Scouting journey. Can we please have the Reader of Scout come forward?
Remember when you received the Scout badge, you learned how to tie the square knot for the first time, how to fold the flag correctly, and what good spirit looks like in your patrol and troop. This is where your scouting journey began.
As you started to learn the ways of scouting, you began to build yourself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight by learning the Scout Oath and Law. Before you knew it, you were a Tenderfoot Scout.
Your Scout badge was replaced by the badge of a Tenderfoot. It still pointed you in the right direction, but added were the 2 stars which represent the truth and knowledge you had gained in scouting. Also was the bald eagle, our national symbol. You learned from the shield on the eagle's breast that freedom of America is not without cost, that must be defended.
I would like to thank Reid for inviting the troop to take part in his Eagle ceremony and for asking me to provide a brief summary of his time in Troop 177. One of my great interests as a member of Troop 177 was to coordinate with Pack 177 before the transfer of Arrow of Light Scouts to the troop. In that role, I became acquainted with the Pack Committee Chairman, Stephanie Westergren. In our conversation, she told me that her maiden name was Ackroyd and that Reid's middle name is Ackroyd as well. And I'm Doug Ackroyd from 177. So it was the first time that I had that kind of a connection. And it was a connection with Reid, unlike I had with any of the Webelos in his den. After earning his Arrow of Light, Reid bridged into the troop in April of 2018. He was elected as the patrol leader of the new Scout Patrol, which was called the Great Boar Patrol. I remember the patrol discussing what its name should be and agreeing with Reid that Great Boar had a meaning which was significant to Hampton because of Great Boar's Head, part of the town on the beach. Stephanie made the patrol flag, and each member of the patrol had a special patrol patch. Reid went to summer camp with the troop in 2018 and earned 3 merit badges, including swimming. Reid continued as an active scout and went to summer camp in 2019 with the troop, earning 4 merit badges. He earned the Tenderfoot rank and continued to be very active. He even served as a den chief for the Pack 177 contingent for summer camp at Carpenter. 2020 was a difficult year for the troop as a result of COVID-19. Reid took on the job of quartermaster and earned his 2nd-class rank. A number of his patrol mates left scouting, and Reid decided to move to Troop 185. We lost an outstanding scout, but we knew he was going to another great unit. We were pleased when we heard that he had become the senior patrol leader, an indication that he was doing very well. He also seemed in great spirits when we saw him at other scouting events, such as Klondike Derby and summer camp. Just as a note, the only member of the Great Boar Patrol left in the troop today is Jack Demirbis, who earned his Eagle Scout last year. So that brings us to today, and now Reid and I have something else in common, the rank of Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Reid.
The second class badge showed you a scroll with your motto, "Be prepared." Its ends were turned up in a smile, and that is what you were told to do, as the bottom knot reminded you to do a good turn daily, which is the Scout slogan.
You found that some 2nd-class scouts had been there for a long time and were content with their achievement. You continued onward. Soon you set out for another ledge. There you are greeted by a larger group of scouts from Troop 185. Your next step was to become a first-class scout.
Your first class badge showed you that it was time to put everything you had learned this far together, and this is what you did. You found that the road to first class had not been all that difficult. You wanted to learn more in scouting, so you continued onward, earning specific skills throughout merit badges.
I'm here to discuss kind of the before he crossed over and then, pre-COVID and then after COVID. I remember meeting Reid in 2019 when he was, I think, 12 years old. He was leading a nature station at Scout Day Camp, and he had to lead his own. I think this was your first leadership position, and he did an amazing job. He was nervous, and he had to deal with not only this guy's group, but his brother Cooper was in my den at the time. It was an interesting group. You did amazing, and I was impressed with him from the start. Then a little bit later that summer, we ended up seeing you guys at Camp Carpenter, and you were the den chief for the oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I get so nervous. For the Hampton Pack. We ended up being paired. That's where I got to meet Stephanie, and I got to see Cooper again. I remember thinking, wow, this kid, he's got it together. It's really amazing. I can't wait to see how things turn out for him. And you were calm and attentive to the scouts. It was great. So then a couple of years passed, we get past COVID, and Reid joins Troop 185, where we reconnect again. Through the years, I've seen him grow into this thoughtful, sensitive, strong leader. He actually helped the younger scouts every chance he got. He told stories. He always made everyone around him comfortable. I remember the other, like Will and Sam, when they first crossed over their first chance at Bell, you helped ease kind of their nervousness of being at camp. And they came back, they had a spectacular week. And it was nervous. It was first time doing Boy Scout camp. Then you were also such a huge role. You did such a huge role with the Klondike Derby that you guys won, and you made it fun, the Troll Patrol. You just always know how to calm kind of these situations that get a little amped up. Your Eagle Project, I've seen you grow through the years, but your Eagle Project, what seemed like this overwhelming task, you did it, and you did it amazing. You led that group, and the project is just, that was great. Lastly, you got to join us at summer camp this year, and as an adult, and I was so thrilled that you wanted to come back, but you had to hang with the leaders a little bit, but you still found ways to lead the scouts and do your normal stuff that you did, and everyone was so happy to be in your presence. You've left a mark on Troop 185 and all of us, and we appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here.
You studied, and before you realized it, you'd come to a new ledge, one where the Star Scouts dwelled.
The star badge, a golden star, was to symbolize your new role as a leader. You are called upon to be a guiding light in the darkness for those who were to follow.
No longer were you receiving scouting, but now you were expected to teach new skills to others.
You good? All right. Now that the journey got steeper and almost seemed impossible, leadership was challenging and also hard work. But you persevered with your energy, and soon it led you to life rank.
The badge of life, a pure red heart on a golden field, was to show all of the world the path you had chosen. True to the ideals of scouting, you had gained an inner confidence that was to prepare you for the rest of your life. The trail became tougher, but more interesting. You thought, now I'm close to Eagle. I'll carry on.
All right, I'm Mr. Brown, or Dana Brown. I had the great opportunity to be a leader with Reid throughout his time at Troop 185. I got a question, but I'll come back to I won't look for an answer right now, but at the end I'll come back to it. How do you eat elephant? And I think that epitomizes some of what I'll mention here about Philmont and the opportunity we had while taking Reid and the rest of us when we went in 2023. So to me, as a scout myself, an Eagle Scout, as well as and a scout leader, the greatest thing about scouting is opportunities. You get opportunities that you never get. You're so young at that age. While you're going to school, you're learning a lot, and you get to see different things. Well, in scouting, it's broad and even larger than what you ever get in school. So whether it's going to swim for the first time, whether it's going to high ropes course, ATVs, horseback riding, other things that you never get a chance to do. You could be from the city and you could be going out to a farm. You know, there's all kinds of things that are different. And as a scout, you don't know what to expect. You take on those opportunities and as they come and see them, or say, hey, that looks cool, I want to try that out. Try out welding, blacksmithing. I never got an opportunity in my own scouting career, but I got to do it as a scout leader. Those types of things you get to see in your scouting career. You expand and grow. And as a scout leader, it's amazing to see the scouts see those opportunities, face fears, challenges that they get to face at every scout, and every single one of them, whether it's jumping into the water for the first time and they're saying, hey, go and swim, and you got somebody that's just watching over for you to make sure that you don't drown. And that's what we are, scout leaders, to do exactly that. Make sure you don't drown, and we be there. It's like a parent to make sure that you're safe in the opportunity. Well, I got to say, certainly, Reid likes to take on, he doesn't go for the 1 meter platform. He goes for the 10 meter platform, jumping off cliff diving. And that's what I've seen from Reid. It's never small enough or never big enough to take on for an opportunity. And I think that comes back to Philmont. So Philmont is the premier scouting camp, high adventure camp. And the opportunity that we got was about 12 days. We did about 100 miles within those 12 days. Even not going for the first time myself, there's a little bit of anxiety from everybody that hasn't done it once. You don't know what to expect. It's like going to boot camp or officer candidate school. You don't know what to expect, and you're on there. You're out there and you're there. Well, Philmont for 2023 was that opportunity, and it was amazing to see. A scout in a matter of days was challenged. He faced those fears and challenges and was on rocking it as good as anybody else, if not better. And that's what Philmont was. I know my knees on the stair stepper were challenged in the first 2 days, and I was struggling myself. To see him going just like, that was no big deal. I got over my struggle and I went and did it. And that's exactly what Philmont was. So Reid, how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. This is an opportunity at Philmont is exactly like life, and what you're going to see. Keep raising the bar to the highest level every single time, and you will achieve it. If you keep your bar low, you will. There's a lot more room that you can do, and your mind can do more than the body thinks it can. So when you've hit those physical barriers, your mind can push you through it. And I know you got it, and Philmont showed it for me, and I was proud to see you excel and experience that opportunity. So thank you very much for that during that time frame.
Thank you. I would like to ask Reid to please stand. We in Troop 185 and Troop 177 have watched you as you have worked towards your eagle. We have watched your mind develop and your knowledge increase. We have seen you grow in many ways, and now that you're on the threshold of your goal, we welcome you, for you have done your climbing in a scout-like manner. Would Mr. Emmanuel please join me? As Scoutmaster of this troop, it is your judgment that Reid has fulfilled the requirements to become an eagle and exemplifies the idea of scouting.
Yes.
Reid, I now ask you to repeat the Scout Oath, rededicating yourself to its principles.
On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally weak, and morally straight. He's got it.
Your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principles of scouting. You have heard the law of the eagle, but one more thing is important, your future. As an eagle, you have become a guiding light to other scouts below you. You have become an example to your community. Remember that people expect more of you. To falter in your duties will not only reflect on you, but your fellow eagles. The torch you carry is not only yours, but theirs. Would Braden Brown now give the eagle charge?
This is not the end of the trail, but rather the beginning of a new era in your life. You are now entering a brotherhood of boys, girls, men, and women who have not only achieved the Eagle Scout rank, but have made a commitment to the Scout Oath and law. You will always be an Eagle Scout and will be expected to conduct yourself accordingly. Would all the Eagle Scouts in the audience please stand behind Reid as he is given his Eagle charge? All right. At this time, I would like all the Eagle Scouts to say their name and the year they achieved Eagle Scout. My name is Braden Brown, and I achieved Eagle at 2025.
Dave Emmanuel, 1986, Stratham, New Hampshire, Troop 185.
John Cochran, Troop 266, Windham, New Hampshire, Eagle Class of 1992.
Dennis Aykroyd, North Andover, Massachusetts, in 1970.
Tyler Blood, Stratham, New Hampshire, Troop 185, 2019.
Dane Brown, Troop 511, Burlington, Mass, 1988.
Douglas Aykroyd, made it in Greenfield, Massachusetts, in Troop 1, November of 1963.
Thank you, guys. Reid Westrogen, I charge you to enter this Eagle Scout Brotherhood, holding without reservation the ideals of honor and service, repeating the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members. You will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout. Repeat the charge after me. I reframe my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Thank you. Two.
Thank you to all Eagle Scouts who stand behind Reid. You may be seated. Okay. Reid, would you now light the candle representing the rank of Eagle? You got this, Reid. Oh, awesome. You get it? Got it.
Congratulations. I would like to present you the Eagle Scout badge.
You got it? All right. Mr. Emanuel, will you now present the certificate?
Congratulations. You're very welcome.
Will Reid's family please join him? What Reid has accomplished is with your support and guidance. It is fitting that you present him the Eagle Award to him.
Almost over there. Okay. William, I'd also like to note that Reid has also earned his Bronze Eagle Palm, which recognizes that he's earned an additional 5 merit badges beyond what has been required.
In recognition of the many hours of patient guidance given by him to you in your efforts, will you present this pin to your mother? And will you give your father his pin? All right, you may be seated.
Reid, I'm going to leave your 3 mentor pins over here.
Reid, here are your mentor's pins to give to someone you feel has guided you along your scouting journey. They're over there. All right. I would now like to invite Tyler Blood on behalf of the Stratham Voluntary Fire Department and Post Senior Vice Commander Chris Nevins on behalf of Hampton's American Legion Post 35 to come forward and present Reid with the U.S. flag.
So it has been a long-standing tradition that we award an Eagle Scout when he has achieved Eagle, the U.S. flag. And this flag was flown July 14th in honor of Reid over the United States Capitol. So congratulations.
Well, Reid, what a special day today is for you. And as a member of Hampton's American Legion, we're very proud of you. We're big supporters of Boy Scouting, as many of you know. And when you come to this point, we really feel rewarded for the time and effort that we may have put in on our side. So once again, congratulations. But I'd like to read a letter from our commander. I accurately said I'm vice commander, but I'd love to read this letter because it really talks a lot about what you earned. Dear Reid, on behalf of the Hamptons American Legion Post 35, I would like to congratulate you on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. You're among a select few scouts that have earned this reward. Your leadership skills, perseverance, and determination have enabled you to achieve the highest honor in scouting. You now join the ranks of some of the greatest business, military, political, and religious leaders in the world. I'm particularly impressed with your efforts for your Eagle project, the improvements to the tennis courts at Winnacunnet High School. You successfully completed the fabrication and placement of benches and a sign, as well as mulching the area. These improvements serve to make the courts more comfortable area for spectators and families in a community. You will be immeasurably affected by what you have learned and accomplished as a Boy Scout. I am certain the attainment of Eagle Scout will not be the greatest achievement of your life, but one of many great accomplishments in the future, as you and the fellow leaders of your generation work to make the community and our nation a better place to live. I know I speak for my fellow men and women veterans of Post 35 in wishing you much success in the future. And that's signed sincerely, G. Berkeley Bennett Jr., Commander. Thank you.
I would like to ask Cole Emanuel to come up and read a few letters of congratulations that Reid has received. We doing that? No? All right. Never mind.
We're supposed to be.
I would like to ask Reid's parents to come back up and say a few words.
I'll go first because I'm the less wordy one compared to your mother. Reid, first of all, we'd like to, we're excited for you. Congratulations and really proud of you. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up and coming today in support of Reid for his Eagle project, everything he's put into this. I'm the reason for everyone being here today, supposedly. It was your hard work. It was our pushing you to start Cub Scouts and going through the whole process and having the joy of going camping with you and spending that time. But I'll let Mom say a lot more. She's a lot more wordy than I am, and it's not my cup of tea.
You could say I'm more well-spoken.
Sure.
I'm wordy, but I'm more well-spoken. So for people who don't know, when Reid was in first grade, he came home from school and said, there's this thing that I want to go to. 6 years old, there's a thing I want to go to at school. And it was PAC 177 in their information night. And for people who have kids, you know, if you show up and you show one little drop of excitement, you are voluntold to be the leader. So Rob was the den leader for Reid's first 5 years of scouting. And we hit a point around when Reid was in third or fourth grade where the PAC didn't have anybody to step up into the Cub Master position. And there was very brief talk about, well, if nobody steps up, the PAC dissolves and the kids have to find other places to do scouting. So Rob was voluntold. Can you step up for maybe a year or two and be the Cub Master? I think you did it for what, 3 years? 2 or 3 years. And then again, when Cooper joined, it was, well, nobody wants to be on the PAC committee and nobody wants to be the chair. So I know what an excellent and amazing impact PAC 177 had on both of my kids. So of course I stepped up and said, I'll be the chair. If that's what we need to keep it going, then I'll do it. So it was exciting because when I was the PAC committee chair, one of my responsibilities was to get the first grade den going. And one of those kids is actually here today. So it's kind of cool. This was way forever ago, I feel like. But Reid was the den chief. So it was kind of a no-brainer. He's like, oh, you're going to do it? I'll help you. Like, I didn't even have to ask him. It was like really cool. And then we went to Camp Carpenter in Manchester for a week. And I camped out with the kids and with Leah, another mom from 177. And it was awesome because we got to see our kids in action and we got to see how independent they had become. And for people who don't know, I'm a teacher, and I was thinking as they were going through and lighting all these candles, this is exactly what we try to do in school. We try to build these kids from teaching them these skills. We're giving them all of the tools they need in their toolbox to eventually get to a point that they talked about when they hit STAR, where now the kids start teaching each other. And the kids start talking about how these skills are really those transferable skills that you need to get through life. So it's been really cool to see just the confidence increase over the years. His project, we saw a whole new side of him. And I particularly enjoyed whenever anybody would come up to me and ask, is there anything that needs to be done? Go ask Reid. Just go ask him. It was great. And he knew, like, he was on it. It was really impressive. And we had kids showing up who weren't even scouts to help. We had kids who were tennis players who said, oh, we heard there's a project. Can we help? That's like the effect he has on people. You know, he just tells them, he gets excited and they show up. So it's really cool. So when we did his Eagle Board of Review back in March, we went with him And it was a group of people. It was kind of a full circle moment because some of these people we had met when Reid was in first, second, third grade that were on his board of review. It was a committee of people in scouting who meet with the scout and they ask them questions, they have a conversation. But two of them have known him since he was 6. So it was really cool. And one of them pulled me aside and said, I cannot tell you how impressed we all are with him, because he talked specifically about the impact that his whole family has had on him over the years. And to me, that's super awesome, because being our firstborn, like, he's the test subject. Like, it's like, we're like, is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? And I mean, clearly something worked. So I'm very proud of him, and we're very thrilled that everybody's here to celebrate with us. Thank you.
If anyone else in the audience would like to share a few words, please raise your hands and microphones will come around to you.
Left button. Left button.
Hello. I'm Jamie Wiley. I get emotional. But as the den leader who took over after Stephanie for that den, Reid stayed on for a couple of years after to help our den out and continued to kind of set an example for those scouts. So I greatly appreciate it. Congratulations. I don't know why I get so emotional, but you deserve this. Congratulations. It's great to see.
Hi, I'm a member of the church, and we have many events, but one event that actually, it's very demanding and has to be arranged ahead of time, and things do fall apart because that's life, is this giant rummage sale that we run. And I recall maybe a year ago, Reid, maybe 2, I can't remember. He's grown, he just keeps growing, and I just look, it's amazing. Anyway, the rummage sale ended, and they appeared to be organized until they weren't. And somebody said, we have no truck and no service and no one to pick up all the leftover clothes and, can I use the word crap? Stuff that was left, okay? And this is it, I don't know what crazy hour of the day, probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the next thing I know, there is Reid Westergren with his little cell phone, just taking his transferable skills. I don't know what chopping wood and doing the various adventures, why it leads to this, but this kiddo went and found a place, because they all know how to do that, that said, we will take all of your stuff. I don't know if it was savers or what. All I know is that by 3 o'clock, he had found a place to take all the stuff. They said, we want it. We can't come get it. So Reid, on his own, got a truck ordered and then got into the truck, loaded all the junk with the people here, the men, I guess, probably just Reid. Anyway, loaded it all on, drove the truck out of here, and by 3:30, 4 o'clock, we're done. That is an extraordinary thing for a high school student to have taken on his own, and I will never be able to thank him enough. So, thank you, Reid. Keith, whoever you are, I don't know. This is awful, standing up with a head like this.
Hi, I'm one of Reid's aunts, and I just want to say on behalf of the extended family of Reid, we're all very proud of you, or you wouldn't have seen us all here on a Saturday. I'd be at the beach, but no, but Reid, we're proud of you. Good luck, and can't wait to see what you do in the future.
I would now like to ask Reid to come to the podium and say a few words.
Exactly. Yeah. First off, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to say thank you all for coming today. It really means a lot to me, my family, especially Troop 177. It means a lot for you guys to come today. Really happy that you guys could all come, especially this amount of scouts. I figured I would go off what my mother was saying and read a little bit about what I wrote to the Eagle Board. It was my Eagle Scout ambition statement that I sent to the Eagle Board. And this would be probably the first time that I'm sharing it, other to my parents and Mr. Emmanuel, of course. I'm going to cut out a few things, obviously, because some of it doesn't matter here. But yeah, I mean, everything matters, of course. It's a huge honor and privilege to even apply for Eagle Scout, the highest rank in scouting. I've been involved with scouting since 2013 when I was a Tiger Scout and have made it all the way to finish the final step. I'm about to take in my scouting journey. When I bridged to the troop level of scouting in April of 2018, I finished things. The first thing I was told by my scoutmaster was only 4% of all scouts, meaning all of the people in the room at the moment, would be able to make the rank of Eagle. At that moment, I felt like I needed to prove him wrong, that scoutmaster that day. I needed to prove that no matter what he said, they're good, no matter what he said, getting there. Bridging to the troop had its challenges as the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Shortly thereafter, I was told at that time, I told my parents I wanted to switch troops because the troop I was in struggled with the COVID impact. So I felt like I needed to go to a different troop just so I could continue my journey to get to this point today. Since that time, I've consistently committed to learning the ways of scouting, whether it was at Hidden Valley or Camp Bell or at the top of Mount Philmont at Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico. I had something to prove to both, flipping the page, to both myself and the leaders who doubted me. I was not and still am not a quitter. I have learned not to walk away when things get hard. When I went to Philmont Scout Ranch in July of 2023, I almost quit day one to stay at base camp the entire time because I felt like I wasn't prepared enough, because I would feel like I would hold the group back or get hurt so bad I'd have to get lifted out by a helicopter. That was actually my thought for day one. However, I realized that if it wasn't so bad, I realized that if I quit, then I would regret not going on this once-in-a-lifetime trip. During that trip, we hiked for 12 days and covered over 100 miles. It was during that time I learned I could do anything I set my mind to, and that it was okay to lean on my fellow scouts and leaders for support. In the fall of 2025, I will be attending the University of Rhode Island, where I'll be going to school. And actually, I'm going there on Thursday, so very excited for that. Currently enrolled in the engineering program. I'd love to pursue a career working in a job and have a family of my own someday. These parts of life will make sure I can live happily and proud of my accomplishments in life. Thus far, I will make sure to visit my parents, my brothers, even though I don't want to half the time. I can help my parents whenever it is needed, as they helped me become the person I am today. I plan to get and stay involved in my community by coaching my future kids, sports teams, build close relationships with the people in my community like I already have, and continue to stay involved in scouting. I've served in many leadership roles through scouting, including patrol leader, senior patrol leader, troop guide, and many more. I have especially enjoyed serving as a troop guide for almost 2 years. I enjoyed sharing my passion for scouting and the community I am a part of to the next group of scouts. I've taught them basic knots and showed them how to light a fire. I have also prepared participated in the Klondike Derby, summer camps at Griswold Scouting Reservation, and served as den chief for Pack 177 when I was just starting my scouting journey in middle school. During scouting day camp, I was awarded the Scoutsmanship Award for positive attitude and service to others, which was the best reward you could, or highest award you could get there as a scout. I was told after my Eagle Board meeting that this was one of the best ambition statements that some of these members have ever heard. When I heard this, I felt very proud of not just myself, but the path I took to get here to where I am today. What I wrote above would not be even possible for my scouting year if it were not for everything that has happened. As I close this chapter of my life and step into a new one, I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible people who have supported me through my scouting journey. First and foremost, of course, my parents. My father served as my den leader for 4 years while I was in Cub Scouts and Webelos, and my mother was on the pack committee serving as the chair. They both have been great role models, and I'm incredibly thankful for everything that you've done for me. However, there are 3 people I want to highlight who have truly shaped my journey. When I bridged into Troop 185, my grandfather became one of my biggest supporters and mentors. As an Eagle Scout himself, he wanted to see me achieve the same goal every time I would visit him. He'd always ask about what I'm working on, what can he do to help, and so much more. His encouragement and wisdom meant so much to me. Next, Mr. Emmanuel. He was the first Troop 185 leader I got to know starting back in 2019 when we worked together in the archery range during the Cub Scout day camp. Most recently, he served as my Eagle coach for my project. His guidance and support, the Eagle process, were invaluable. Finally, he could not be here today, sadly. I told him he should have skipped whatever, but I heard it got canceled, so no excuse. Paul Ailes. Over the past year, Paul and I have really gotten to know each other. Once a month, we go to breakfast as Ginger and Cloves, but as we like to call it, garlic and cloves. He would always mix up the first word, so now it's just our running joke between us. He's a great friend to talk to, and I hope he's not watching right now because during tomorrow's service for everybody's in the church, I would like to give him what I'm about to give Mr. Emmanuel and my grandfather, Dennis Ackroyd. So would those two please come up to the front right now? Doesn't come up here. You guys have done so much for my scouting journey, and I would like to present you both with a mentor pin showing the much greatly the much I mean mixing up my words. Sure, I need your mother. And last but not least, of course, if it were not for my parents, the rest of my family, my community members, and my fellow scouts and scouters who have had my back the entire way, I would not be standing here to acknowledge the success I've had in scouting in life. So thank you all.
At this time, Scoutmaster Manuel will give his Scoutmaster minute.
Thank you, William. Reid, as your Scoutmaster, it's my privilege to have prepared the Scoutmaster Minute for you. And this is a brief reflection on the path which you've traveled and journeyed, as well as what lies ahead. Today, I'd like to speak about your character, leadership, and incredible growth mindset that the scouting journey, particularly the path to Eagle, has cultivated with you. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. And as many of you, especially those of you that have been to Philmont or heard about Philmont, it's come up a number of times today. Imagine yourself in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, 6 hours south of Denver, miles from any road, any people that you can see. We might see 1 or 2 a day. That's it. You're tired. Your pack is heavy. You just realized your map reading might have been a little bit off. Maybe you're not quite where you think you are, or that you have a blister the size of a quarter on one of your feet, or maybe that your pack is a little on the heavy side. It could happen. In that moment, you might feel like it's a failure, but where true leadership starts to take place. Philmont, much like scouting, is a controlled environment for failing and failing forward. It's where we learn to read a map, and misreading a map is not a catastrophe, but it's an opportunity to reevaluate, consult with your crew, navigate, and maybe tune up your precision a little bit. The blister or heavy pack isn't just pain, it's a lesson about proper footing, proper footwear, preparedness, and preparation for the occasion. These aren't setbacks, they're learning opportunities that build resilience and problem-solving skills. They teach us to embrace a growth mindset and believe in our abilities that we can be developed through adversity. And instead of saying, I failed, those with a scouting trained mind say, what did I learn from this and how could I do better? We often call it rosebuds, thorns. We're going to talk about what went really well, maybe what we're going to look forward to and what we can tune up next time. This ability to learn from adversity, to adapt and to press on is precisely the leadership that you've demonstrated on your journey to Eagle. Attaining this rank is not merely about collecting merit badges, taking cool trips, and doing a neat project. It's about setting ambitious goals, breaking them down into manageable tasks and steps, and persevering through challenges, sometimes even when it seems that success is distant. It's about demonstrating that Scouting America's mission to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and Law. Your leadership journey has been deeply rooted in the Scout Oath and Law, which trustworthy, loyal, hopeful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And they're not just words, they're the bedrock of the leadership that we stand on. Being trustworthy means we can rely on your decisions. Helpful means we know that you will take care of your patrol, your community, before yourself, helping the new scouts succeed at camp. Maybe making sure people have a place to sit while they watch the tennis matches at Winnicott High School. And those points not said, Reid, that I bring up are the kindness, mindfulness, and grace that you exhibit. Because these are not just qualities that you have honed and embraced at our scout meetings or on the trail, but these you've developed through moments of controlled failure where you've learned to pick yourself up and learn and lead others. Your character's been forged in the fires of responsibility, service, and commitment. And now, as an Eagle Scout, you carry significant responsibility, and you're called to continue living the Scout Oath and Law, to be a beacon of leadership and to inspire others. Remember the lessons of Philmont. The challenges often lead to the growth, and the greatest growth by things that we didn't think we could do. Embrace the new challenges, continue to learn from every experience, especially the difficult ones, and lead with integrity and purpose. Congratulations. Thank you, William.
Thank you, Mr. Emanuel. At this time, would Reverend Marlena please come up to give the benediction?
So every church service ends with a benediction, which are words of blessing for the whole congregation. And I found one when I was sort of researching online, what would be a good benediction for an Eagle Scout ceremony? And I found one called the Concord benediction that I felt really spoke to what you've learned and all of the wonderful things that we've heard about you. So I invite people to stand for the benediction, and you too, Reid. And in the Christian faith tradition, the pastor will extend their hand as a gesture of blessing. So I invite the whole congregation to extend your right hands toward Reid as a gesture of blessing, and you just stand there, Reid, and receive this blessing from God and from your community. So let us pray. Go out into the world in peace. Have courage. Hold fast to what is good. Return no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all people. Love and serve the Lord, rejoicing in the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen. You may be seated. You may be seated.
Thank you, Reverend Marlena. Will Grandma Manuel please lead us in the closing ceremony?
Would everyone please rise? Sure. Color guard, please go to the colors. That's Troop 185. Color guard. Oh. Color guard, please retire the colors. Scout salute. Two. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming. We hope that you will join us for some refreshments, some dessert in Fellowship Hall downstairs. At this time, I declare this Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Reid Westergren closed.